Hello, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my channel. This is Tanush, and today we'll be discussing about this very important transit, which is Saturn going retrograde, and Saturn has already gone retrograde. So, today, and Saturn will be in this retrograde motion starting from today, that is 30th of June to 15th November 2024. A very, very significant period. So, why we'll discuss in a while. Now, two things I would like to clarify. First thing is, regarding the results, a lot depends upon how Saturn is placed in your chart, which dasha you are going through, which antardasha, meaning sub period you are going through, that determines a lot. So if you are going through Saturn Mahadasha or Saturn Antardasha, so this retrograde motion is going to be one of the most important transit for you. If you are going through Sadesati, again this transit is going to be one of the most important transits for you because it's going to impact you a lot. Now in general it's going to impact everyone, but a lot for people who are going through Saturn Mahadasha and Sadesati, right? Now I generally give timestamps for all the ascendants in my description section. So if you want to go to your particular ascendant, you can just go to description section, click on the link and the video will go there, right? So let's get started. Now let us understand what is retrogression. So I'll not get into detail, but basically it's due to the relative motion between Earth and that particular planet. It looks like that planet is actually moving backwards when we observe it from Earth. And this period is known as, this particular movement or phenomenon is known as retrogression of that particular planet. When retrogression happen, that particular planet is most closest to the Earth, and because it is closest to the Earth, its influence on all of us will be maximum. Not only that, it generally gives results very fast, right? So Saturn is known to give results very slow. But during the retrogression motion, Saturn actually gives up its tendency to give results slow. It gives results very fast. So positive or negative depends upon how Saturn is placed in your chart and which dasha you are going through, right? So to define Saturn retrogression, I'll use two keywords. One is introspection, other is course correction. So this will be on the agenda of Saturn. Now this Saturn transit is going to be very important. Why? Because by March 2025, Saturn will be out of Aquarius, leaving its Mool Trikon Rashi, and will get into the next sign of Pisces, right? So Saturn does not have much time. It has to complete, whatever results it is supposed to give in this time frame from November until March, right? And this during this retrograde motion, it will make you do things, it will make you do course correction, whatever is required, so that it can give its results very fast and then move to the next sign. So it's going to be a very, very important transit. This is going to be the last retrogression of Saturn in the sign of Aquarius. And next phenomenon will happen after 30 years. So we don't know who will be alive, but this is a very significant transit. So like I said, retrogression means introspection plus course correction. Now, why introspection? During the retrograde motion, Saturn gives us a window to actually know, what things went wrong or what things were actually skipped by us, or which karma we dodged, we avoided. So whichever karma we avoided, whichever karma we wantedly kind of skipped, or unknowingly, we didn't perform that karma due to various reasons. So now Saturn gives us a chance to rectify that, right? So this transit is going to be a very, very important transit. Course correction. So what happens is, in certain cases, Saturn might not have given you result which it is supposed to give, and that result may be good, it may be bad, and in many cases it is good. So for example, you are working in your organization and you are expecting that next level of role, next level of package, or whatever, good things you were expecting. It didn't happen during the stay of Saturn in Aquarius. Then during the retrograde motion of Saturn is going to do the course correction for you, and Saturn is going to give you that particular role, right? And similarly, if you had missed something, then Saturn will make sure that you perform those activities, right? And if you need some skill sets which you are lacking to go to the next position which Saturn is promising, then Saturn will make you actually acquire those skill set during the retrograde motion of Saturn. So, very important transit, incomplete work or karma will come before you, and you need to perform things which went wrong. You will get a chance to correct those things. And third is karma, which we avoided or we overlooked, knowingly or unknowingly. That's also going to come back to us, right? One thing we need to understand is whatever happening is for our good, because we cannot escape our karma. That is one thing. Second thing, something good is supposed to happen, but we miss some things which we need to actually acquire, and Saturn will give those results which it promises in the sign of Aquarius. So it's for your good, it's for your betterment. Now it might look very frustrating, because you have to go back, do the same thing again and again, rush back to perform your activities when Saturn goes direct, right? It might look very frustrating, but keep this thing in mind that unless and until you finish those activities, you acquire those skill set, you do that correction, Saturn is not going to give you the result, right? And Saturn wants to give you the result, and hence these situations are coming before us. So now let's go ascendant by ascendant. So let's start with Aries. And before that, I would like to also inform that because Saturn is the karka of 10th and 11th house, it owns the 10th and 11th house in the natural Kalachakra Kundali. So during this retrograde motion, one will have to deal with things of 10th house and 11th house, which ultimately means your job, your business, your career, your position. So all those things will be in forefront, right? So let's start with Aries or Mesha Rashi. So for Aries, Saturn is one of the most important planets because it lords your 10th and 11th house. And this retrograde motion is actually good for Aries guys, right? So it will do the course correction mainly on the professional front. It will make you do things with which you will see increase in your status, increase in income, increase in your position in the organization. It will also push you to improve your network circle, eliminate people who are actually causing you harm, and connect with people who actually mean good for you or who are going to help you to grow. So this Saturn is going to do, right? Eliminate people who are doing harm and connect with people who will help you to grow in the organization, right? So job change is indicated. So if you think that you deserve much more, you're not happy with your job, you're not happy with the role, you're not happy with the position, you think you seriously think you deserve much more or the next level, then this retrograde period is a window for you to search for a new job. You'll surely get a job which suits your desires and your expectations, and then you can join that job, right? So on professional front, if you're looking for a job change seriously, then this is the period. 11th house also represents long-standing desires. So if you had any desires which everyone has, serious desires which you were aspiring from long time, then Saturn again is here getting into retrograde motion to fulfill those desires. But again, it might want you to do things before the desire is fulfilled. So the principle of Saturn is very clear. You should deserve it before you desire it, right? So you might desire it, but to deserve that, you might probably have to put in extra effort or do extra things. So that is what Saturn is going to do during this retrograde period, right? Saturn will also make you focus on your health, on your personality, improving your personality, acquire those skill set like soft skill set like communication, the way you present yourself before people, communication skills. So all those skills Saturn is going to actually make you do things to improve those skill set, and that is for your good. Also you will focus on your health during this period, because from 11th house it aspects your lagna. So you might have to do exercise, hit the gym, do jogging or walking or whatever exercise you are good at, yoga, right? So you might have to do those things to fix health issues. So nothing serious, whatever is happening, it is for good. So for Aries lagna specifically, it is one of a very good retrograde motion, a very good one, right? And it is here to fulfill the promise which it actually came, the agenda with which it came to Aquarius. It wants to fulfill that. It wants to fulfill that, give you whatever you aspire for or whatever you actually deserve, and then get rid of the sign of Aquarius. But again, you will have to do things, look back, do the course correction, do those things, and you will see all your desires will be fulfilled, especially on professional front, especially position, increase in salary, because 11th house also represents monetary gains from from your job or business, right? So business people who were actually looking at having new business, or you might have started some new venture, some new business, and it was not doing well, you were struggling with it, then this is the time of course correction, right? So now you look back, Saturn will show you things which you are doing wrong or where you are lacking. You are going to fix that, and then from November you will see that your business is growing at a very good pace. So a good one for Aries. Don't get frustrated. Look at it as an opportunity to fix things, so that your future is going to be good, right? Now coming to Taurus lagna or vrishab lagna, Saturn is one of the most important and one of the best planets for you guys, because it owns one of the Kendra houses, which is the 10th house, and one of the Trikona houses, which is the 9th house. So it is a Rajo Karaka planet for you. And obviously Saturn, when it comes to its own sign, own Mool Trikon Rashi in your 10th house, is here to fix your career, to give you opportunities to grow. So keep that in mind. Now, introspection and course correction is needed in your career, right? So it might involve acquiring new skill set, learning new technology, getting certifications. Travel is indicated because it is looking back at the 9th house. So if you were supposed to travel and it didn't happen due to any reason, so the travel maybe for your job, for your business, it didn't happen for any reason, then this is the time where you can actually take up that travel, and it will be very beneficial, right? So especially for students, because Saturn is looking at the 9th house, right? For students, 9th house is house of higher learning, like PhDs, master degrees and everything. So students who couldn't crack or couldn't get into the desired desired course, or that masters or PhD, this is a time where you can actually look back, acquire those skills, fill in those gaps, and again reappear to the exam, and then you will actually see yourself doing much better. Students again who were aspiring to travel for doing their masters or PhD, this is the right time. You can actually restart the process, and you will see things working in your favor. If you desire the next level role or something new in your organization, maybe change in your domain, change in your stream of work you were desiring from long time, and it didn't happen, so it was because you were not ready probably, right? So now Saturn will actually help you to understand what things you need to do, which can be anything, like I said, acquiring skill set, it may be networking, your relationship with your colleagues, with your bosses. So it's going to actually let you know where you are lacking or what additional things you need to do to change your work stream, to go to the next level, to acquire that position. Saturn is going to do that, right? Now, because Saturn is looking at the ninth house, it tends to look at the ninth house. Relationship with father and your teachers will improve. So this is a time frame wherein Saturn is actually giving an opportunity to spend time with your father, with your gurus, and strengthen your relationship with them. So utilize that, right? Now, learning is clearly on the cards because ninth house is the house of higher learnings and Saturn is looking back there. So certainly learning is there, and it can be anything. It can be like we discussed, it can be a new technology, it can be a new domain. You can learn that, you can get certified, and then you'll see your career actually going at a very faster pace once you hit November, right? So one thing, from 10th house Saturn looks at the 4th house. So a general indication is it inspires us to start something from home, which can be anything, which can be your hobby, right? So it can be a simple YouTube channel wherein you discuss about your hobby, share your skill set, right? Or it can be something related to income or monetary gains. So Saturn inspires us to do that, and if you had done that, then this is a time wherein you actually can fill in the gaps, and you'll see from November you're doing much better. Maybe this can become your primary business, who knows, right? So that is also on your cards, right? So for Taurus or Vrishab Lagna, Saturn being one of the best planets for you, it's going to do tremendous good. And if it has not done, then you can expect that to happen from November, provided you work hard and listen to the code of Saturn, listen to the message which Saturn is giving, do the course correction, and then you can see all your desires being fulfilled by Saturn. Good one for Taurus ascendant. Now for Gemini ascendant or Mithun Lagna, again a good one but little tricky. It's a good one, for sure it's a good one, right? But it's little tricky. Why? Because Saturn is the lord of your 8th house, right? So Saturn will here look back at the 8th house and make you fix things of the 8th house so that your future is bright, right? So right now it's in the 9th house, which is the house of, which is known as the Bhagyasthan, which is your future. And there are some things of the 8th house which are not yet fixed and which are pulling you down. And Saturn expects you to, fix those things, do the course correction of 9th house, which is your Bhagya, and then it will make sure that your future is going to be very good before it leaves the sign of Aquarius. So that is the agenda, and trust me, Saturn is going to do good. So why I am repeating this is, you will have to deal with the 8th house matters now, and 8th house matters are generally not very easy. They are very complicated, time consuming, frustrating. So all these things are going to happen, but that is for your good. Now because now when we discuss about the 9th house things, travel is indicated. So if you couldn't travel, you had desire to travel, or you had the opportunity, you couldn't actually travel due to various reasons, this is the time where you can actually travel. Higher studies, students who are aspiring for higher studies, this is a time where you can start preparing, fill in the gaps, be ready for your exam, and then you'll crack it surely. People who are interested in spiritual pursuits, so this again is a wonderful opportunity. Saturn will make you meet with very good spiritual people who will actually impart wonderful knowledge to you. They can impart the actual spiritual wealth with which you will get that fulfillment, right? Again, learning, certifications, learning new technology are all on the card. So those are the 9th house matters, and you will see that coming before you. Now 8th house also represents research. So people who are pursuing their PhD or who are into research field, which can be anything, pharma industry, doctors, engineers, anyone, accountants, who research into, the accounts, trying to understand what went wrong. Any research, it can be, the police people or, security people trying to investigate, research on something very important. So any kind of research, this is an apt time, a wonderful time. Saturn will give you tremendous success. It will make you work hard, but it will give you tremendous success. Now, research again, coming to the 8th house matters. Saturn will make you research on things which were bothering you, unseen things, unexplainable. People cannot understand those things. Those things existed. You are feeling, you don't know what they are. This is a time where you can actually, research on that. Saturn will let you know, what those things are, and Saturn will show you the way to fix those things, right? This is very important. Now again, 8th house is relationship with your in-laws. So if your relationship with the in-laws were strained, this is the time period where they can be fixed. You can come together, discuss and fix those things. And if that is not good for you, then Saturn can sever the relationship for good, right? It can go either ways. But some karma related to in-laws is actually will actually come up. People interested in astrology, people interested in occult meditation, chakras and samadhi and everything, this is the right time. Right time, perform those things and you will get success, or you'll actually get the right path, right people to help you out. 9th house also represents publishing of something. So if you had written something which couldn't be published, then this is the time where you can actually, work on it and get it published, and you will see success coming your way, right? So for Gemini ascendant guys, it's tricky in the sense you'll have to deal with the 8th house matters to a large extent, but it is for your good, because by the time Saturn leaves your Bhagyasthan, it will ensure that your Bhagya is very strong, right? So trust Saturn, be prepared for hard work, because that's what Saturn represents. And I made a video on especially for Gemini ascendants, which is, I think, why Gemini ascendant people get late success. So they get late success because Saturn is a lot of their 8th house and 9th house, and Saturn is a slow moving planet. But after 30 years, it has come to your Bhagyasthan, it has come to your 9th house, the house of fortune, and it has come here to fix your future, give you all that fortune which you deserve. So take it seriously, don't complain, right? Don't complain, be ready for hard work, and you will see by the time Saturn leaves Aquarius and goes into the sign of Aquarius, you are a completely different person, with a completely different outlook about your future. Your future is going to find the right direction, it will shape up, right? So don't worry. Now for Cancer ascendant people, it's going to be a mixed transit, wherein the matters of 8th house, because Saturn is in your 8th house, 8th house will come to forefront, and because it looks at the 7th house, again the relationship part, business contracts, spouse, marriage, and all those will come in the forefront, right? Now Saturn is a lot of your 8th house. When it comes to the 8th house, one of the primary agenda, because it is a lot of your 8th house, one of the primary agenda will be to to fix your health issues, so you'll have a healthy and long life. So that is the intention of Saturn, because it is a lot of your 8th house, right? And the way it does is, again, because now it's retrograde, the way it does is it will actually unearth, or it will reveal you your health issues which probably you didn't knew about it, right? Or it will actually probably flare up some of the chronic problems, so that you will start working on that, and then you will get a proper solution, right? So again the same thing, right? When Saturn leaves the sign of Aquarius and gets into the sign of Pisces, it will ensure that your health is good. And to do that, it will have to reveal the health issues. It will have to reveal issues of the 8th house, which can be unexplainable issues, which can be related to some sort of tantra, some sort of black magic, some sort of occult things which you might be facing, which you are not aware. So Saturn is going to actually bring that before you. And it is obvious to think that, oh my God, Saturn is giving me a bad time. But it's actually not giving you bad time. It is actually helping you by showing what you're going through. And then you can actually fix those issues, right? So it will also help you to fix those issues for good, right? So be prepared for that. Now, again, when it looks back at the 7th house, so if you had any issues with your partner, with your spouse, in your marriage, right, this is the time where you can revisit that. You can discuss, find an amicable solution, because Saturn is here to fix those things also. Saturn is here to fix those things also, right? So if you are facing those kind of things, you can actually discuss with your partner, try to discuss how things can be fixed for good, and then work in that direction. Now if things went too bad, you are going through a very bad dasha, which probably 6th house dasha, which indicates separation, then Saturn is going to be decisive this time. It's going to sever the relationship for good, because that is good for you and your partner. But that is the worst case scenario, right? Saturn is going to fix things. It's going to fix things. So don't worry. Whatever Saturn does is for your good. Now ancestral property matters will again come to the forefronts. Savings, you will rethink again on your savings. Like probably you were saying saving money, in shares or probably in fixed deposit, but now you'll actually rethink that how can I increase, how can my savings be safe, at the same time increase. So how can I utilize the money which I have saved, right? So time to rethink and time to act in a way that your saved money is safe, also it grows. So that is what Saturn is going to do. So ancestral property matters. If you had anything, any issues, it's a time to revisit that, fix those issues, because the issues can be easily fixed, right? So Cancer ascendant guys, it's a mixed one for you, but Saturn is not going to do bad. It might be frustrating at times, but it's not going to do bad. Now coming to Leo ascendant or Simha Lagna, again it's going to be a mixed transit for Leo ascendant guys, and the main focus would be on a relationship and 6th house matters. Now people who are in marriage or relationship and are facing issues or conflicts, then this period can be a decisive period, right? Because Saturn is again becoming retrograde to like I said, towards introspect, do the course correction, right? So introspect how I can fix the issues in relationship, if you have any, in relationship, in marriage with your spouse, how you can fix those issues and how you can ensure that that relationship or that marriage is smooth, right? So you can start thinking in that direction, and Saturn is going to help you. You will get good ideas, you will get help, you will be able to talk to your partner amicably without any issues and solve those issues, right? Now because it is now looking at the 6th house also, and being the lord of the 6th house also, it also indicates that if that particular relationship or marriage is not good for you, it's not at all good for you and your partner, and you are facing lot of stress, lot of issues, then again Saturn can be decisive enough to actually separate you. So you might probably get divorced if that relationship, again I'm mentioning, if the relationship is really bad. If it's really bad and not good for both of you, then probably this extreme step will be taken. Otherwise, Saturn is here to fix those issues, right? Now, conflicts, again the same conflicts with the business partners, because 7th house represents marriage as well as business partners. Any conflicts with the business partners can be fixed, by discussing, by coming to a solution. It can be fixed. Again, if it has gone too bad, if your business partner is kind of cheating on you or pulling you down, it's not good for you, then probably you'll part ways, right? So Saturn is going to do that. Now, court cases, because it looks at the 6th house. So court cases, if any, you'll see court cases getting delayed, and it can be frustrating for you. It surely can be frustrating. So you'll have to exhibit patience in that direction. Wait for a while till it gets back on track and gets that momentum, right? So it's going to get delayed during this period. Now, 6th house also represents your daily routine, right? It also represents your daily routine at your workplace. So if your routine at workplace was not good, Saturn will fix those things. It will ensure that you follow a proper discipline at your workplace, because Saturn is all about discipline, organization, and to be grounded. So Saturn is going to ensure that. Again, because 6th house also represents health issues, so any chronic health issues will again flare up during this period, and Saturn is going to give you proper direction, proper physicians, proper doctors, proper medication to fix those issues, right? Now, if you are into sports and are planning to participate in any sort of competition, then this period is actually very good. So you can work hard during this period, and actually you can excel in your competition. And the competition can be any competition, especially it's because 6th house, sports, especially for sports people, but it can be any competition, right? So for Leo ascendant, it's a mixed one. So you need to be patient, because things might get delayed a bit during this period, but overall it's going to be a good one, right? Now, coming to Virgo ascendant or Kanya Lagna, Saturn is going to go retrograde in your 6th house, right? So it's again going to be a mixed one for you guys. Now, when it goes retrograde in the 6th house, so what does 6th house represent? First thing is your daily routine, right? It represents your workplace. So Saturn demands improvement on your work front. So it wants to make you more committed, more planned, more organized, and work extra hard at your workplace. And Saturn is going to do that for you, right? So it might be frustrating, sure, at times, but if you follow, the codes of Saturn during this retrograde period of 145 days, then you will see that, the remaining days are going to be wonderful for you. So it can give you promotion, it can give you the desired role, right? So many good things it might give you. So if Saturn is going to is doing that for you, then be prepared for that, right? Now, even your daily routine, which at your home, if it is out of track, Saturn expects you to bring it back on track, which means you need to follow proper discipline and certain timetable when you wake up, when you exercise, and all those things. Like it looks back to the 5th house, right? So it also will make you spend quality time with your kids. So during this period, you will understand the expectation of your kids, and then you'll try to fulfill that. You'll spend quality time with your kid. 5th house also represents a relationship or romantic relationship. So if you are into romantic relationship, so you'll understand the needs of your partner, your lover, and then you'll actually spend quality time with them. Otherwise, they are going to demand that quality time from you. Excuse me. because it looks at the fifth house. So if you are, involved in any sort of arts, music, acting, so this transit of Saturn will rekindle those ambitions within you, and you will actually start working, working to improve those skill set, and it is actually good. Again, because it's looking at the fifth house, if you are lacking any skill sets, Saturn will actually identify those skill set, bring it before you, and you will have to actually learn those skill set, get certified, and be prepared, right? So for Virgo ascendant guys, it's going to be a mixed one, but it might appear to be a little tough, but whatever Saturn is doing, it's for your betterment. Now coming to Libra ascendant or Tula Rashi, Saturn is one of the most important planet for you. Like Taurus ascendant, Saturn is the lord of one Kendra house and one Trikona house, which is the house 4th and 5th. One of the best planets for you guys, and Saturn is excel in the sign of Libra, right? So it likes your ascendant a lot. Now course correction is indicated on these fronts. One is children, and this is for betterment. So if your relationship with children was strained, or if you are worried about your children's studies or about their future, during this period you will understand the needs of your children. You'll be able to clearly see where they are lacking, and you are going to provide the required support with which your children will actually get back on track, perform very well during this period. So Saturn is going to do that, right? Again, the same thing. Fifth house represents your partner, that romantic relationship with your lover, and again, Saturn is going to make you understand their expectations, because there is something which they are expecting, you are not able to understand that. So during this period, Saturn will actually push you to identify those things, and provide your support, your extra time, your emotional support to them, and then your bonding will be much more strengthened during this period. Learning is surely on the cards, because fifth house is house of learning. So you'll understand which skill sets you are lacking, or which skill sets you might need to progress in your career, right? So during this period you are going to identify that, and you are going to start working in the direction. You are going to start working in the direction, acquire those skill set, probably get certified, and be prepared for that leap. You'll be prepared, which will happen from December, right? Students, again, for students, they'll have to put in extra efforts. They'll have to understand what are the trends in the market, upgrade themselves with those skill set, and be prepared to go out in the market. People who are in share markets, who are into trading, some sort of speculation, during this period, go a little slow, because Saturn is retrograde. The lord of your fifth house is retrograde. So do thorough study of market, and then you can invest. So be slow, be sure, and then you invest, right? Again, it's fifth house. Start taking your hobby seriously, because Saturn is going to rekindle that desire to learn that music, or enhance your musical skill set, acting skill set, whatever you desire, whatever your ambitions are. Saturn is going to help you, and surely do that, right? Now, because it is looking back at the fourth house, you might have to undertake some repairs at your home. You might have to buy some furniture, repair your vehicle, your car, right? So that is indicated. You might health of your mother might need your attention, though it's not that something bad will happen, but surely it demands your attention. Relationship with your mother, you need to again rekindle that, strengthen your ties, because that is what Saturn is expecting, and you are going to do that, right? So you are going to spend extra time with your mother, strengthen your ties, strengthen that emotional bonding with your mother, and you are going to be happy due to that. So for Libra ascendant, it's going to be a good one, but course correction is indicated for everyone even you are not spared. Now for Vrischik, Scorpio or Vrischik Lagna, this transit is going to be a little tough. So it's not that it's going to be horrible, terrible, but it's going to be a little tough for you guys, right? Now Saturn is a lot of your third and fourth house, and it's going to go retrograde in the fourth house. So first thing is, health of your mother might need some attention, right? So your mother might be suffering from something, and or which might be emotional, which might be physical ailment, and you will have to help her out, talk to her, help her out, take her to doctor, take her to physician. It can be simple one, or it can be little critical as well. It depends on your dasha and dasha which your mother is going through, but you will have to extend your support. You will have to strengthen your relationship with your mother. So that is clearly indicated, right? Repairs at your home is indicated. Again, repairs of your vehicle is also indicated, which can be beautification, which can be fixing things. That is clearly indicated. Now Saturn in the fourth house, when it came to a fourth house, it generally might have given you opportunity to start something from home. So which, if you have done, that is wonderful. If you are aspiring, you are designing for that. If you have not done, and if you have those ideas, then keep watch, look at November time frame wherein these things will kickstart, and this period would be the preparation period for that. So if you have already started, then this is the period where you will have to introspect, do the course correction, so that from November it's going to be wonderful. It's going to take that leap to the next level. If you have ideas you have not yet started, then during this period you can do the groundwork, be prepared, and then as soon as you hit November, just start it, right? So till Saturn is in the sign of Aquarius, if you have any plans to start something from home, which can be any food business, which can be a simple YouTube channel, which can be anything, right? This is the right time. So don't lose this time. It's going to be a wonderful opportunity for you to start something new and to grow. Now, because it is looking at the third house, your communication might need correction, and Saturn is going to show you that, right? So if you are too aggressive, then you will have to soften yourself. If you are too soft, then you will have to make yourself little aggressive. That course correction is needed. Ties with your brothers, with your siblings, especially younger siblings, might need attention during this period. You might want to reassess that and work in that direction. And third house also represents starting of new initiatives. So again, if you had started something new during the stay of Saturn in Capricorn, or when Saturn came to Aquarius, during this period it's a time of course correction, so that your new initiative, which can be a business venture or anything, will actually go in the right direction, which will actually grow, right? So it's not bad, it's just a course correction. So again, third house also represents your effort. So time to introspect on your effort or your approaches, the approach which you take in your business or in your career, so that you can ensure that you are putting the efforts in the right direction, 100% in the right direction, right? So this is for Scorpio ascendant people. So don't think that it is tough. It's just that Saturn is doing the course correction. So if you are with that mindset, it will not look like it's a tough time. Now for Sagittarius ascendant or Dhanu Lagna, the focus mainly will be on improving efforts at your workplace, communication, starting of new ventures, or improving the ventures or new business streams which you might have started or which you are planning to start, right? Now efforts on improving a relationship with your siblings is on the card, because Saturn is a lot of your second and third house. So third house represents your siblings. So you'll have to put in efforts to improve your relationship with your siblings and also your friend circle. Now third house also represents writing skills. So if you are into writing, if you are an author, or if you are planning to write any book or articles, it can be white paper or anything, this is the right time. Actually, you can get started, or if you have already written, then you can actually revisit that, try to do any corrections if any, and then you can actually publish your writings once Saturn goes direct. So again, third house represents the direction of your efforts, right? And especially when Saturn looks at the third house from anywhere, it will ensure that you will put in extra efforts. So Saturn is demanding you to put in extra efforts in the right direction, right? So this is very important. You'll have to identify whether your efforts are going in different direction. So you need to actually revisit that, channelize the direction of your efforts so that they are going in the right direction, and put in extra efforts. You will get a lot of success. Now Saturn is looking back at the second house, so you will start thinking about your savings during this period, right? So if you are spending too much, again, this is the time to do course correction. You will identify the places wherein your money is actually going. Try to check whether that particular spendings are right or they are just waste. So you'll try to curb your spending during this period. Try to understand which place your money is actually getting wasted, and then you will try to improve on those fronts. You'll try to reinvest your savings in places wherein you will get extra returns, right? So all these things are indicated. Now you will have to recheck your food habits, because second house also represents food habits, right? And Saturn, especially Saturn, makes you seriously think about your food habits, and for doing that probably you might face some health issues, which might force you to do the course correction with your food, with your diet and everything, right? So that is also indicated. Time to reconnect with your family during this period. If you have any conflicts, you can solve them amicably, very easily, and you will improve your family ties. You will spend some quality time with them. Ancestral property matters, ancestral wealth, conflicts can be solved during this period by putting in the right efforts, right? So for Sagittarius, the focus would be on wealth management, your communication, your direction of efforts, starting new ventures. So this will be in focus. Now for Capricorn ascendant or Makar Lagna, it's a very, very important planet for you. Saturn, it's your Lagnesh, right? It's your Lagnesh, and this transit is especially very, very important for you. It's a very tricky transit. Now the Lord of your Lagna, which represents your self, your health and everything, is in the second house. It's looking back at the first house. So the primary thing which it will do is to correct health issues, and this I've seen Capricorn ascendant people from past 4-5 years, they are suffering from some health ailments. I mean, it's not a generic statement, but at least few people whom I know, they are suffering from some health ailments. So this retrograde motion of Saturn is very, very important for you guys, because Saturn is now demanding that work in the direction of fixing your health, because by the time it actually moves out of your second house, your health should have been fixed. So that is the agenda of Saturn. So now it will make you work in that direction, which means you might have to hit the gym, do correction in your diet, right? Do yoga, practice meditation, go for swimming, jogging, whatever suits you, do that and fix your health. So this is the main agenda of Saturn. The main agenda is to fix your health. Now it's going to evolve your personality in the sense your physical health, the way you look physically, as well as your skill sets, like your soft skill sets, the way you present yourself before people, your soft skills, communication. So all these things Saturn is here to fix that, and you'll have to work in that direction. Now people again, because it's in the second house going retrograde, any hidden health issues, Saturn is going to project that to you, and you will have to work in that direction. Reassessment of wealth is clearly indicated during this period, because the lot of savings is in the house of savings going retrograde, that to Saturn. So Saturn here clearly will make you research or take note of where your savings are going, the inflow, the outflow of money, unnecessary expenditure, where you are spending unnecessary expenditure, or if you have put in your money in the wrong investment. Saturn is going to show you that, and it's going to make you do the course correction, meaning cut down the expenses, look at the outflow of money very, very carefully, and curb your expenses, reinvest your money in the right place. So this also Saturn is going to do that, right? And second house also represents your family, your extended family. So Saturn will actually make you connect with your people, connect with your family, have quality time with them. Or if that relationship is not good for you, if those family members are trying to pull you down, then Saturn might actually sever that relationship for good. So that might that can also happen in worst case, right? So Capricorn guys, be prepared to work on your health, because that is the primary agenda of Saturn. Also your savings, right? Now coming to Aquarius ascendant or Kumbh Lagna, your Lagnesh is going retrograde in Lagna itself, right? So again, the focus will be on your health issues, your personality development, right? So Saturn is again one of the most important planets for you, because it is the lord of your Lagna, right? So no other planet is as important as the Lagnesh, and Saturn is your Lagnesh. It's going retrograde. So again, Saturn will make you work on your health issues. It will reveal any hidden health issues which were existing, or flare up issues which were existing, make you work on those health issues. It will make you take corrective actions so that your health becomes good. By the time Saturn might have left Aquarius, the aim of Saturn is to make you fit, right? So with that aim, Saturn is now going to show you health issues, expose those health issues, flare up the existing issues, so that you'll hit the gym, right? You'll get into meditation, you'll get into yoga, pranayam, go for swimming, go for jogging, walking, whatever you like, right? And you can improve your health. So that will be the primary agenda of Saturn. Be prepared for that. So if you have any addictions, then Saturn is here to help you out, right? Take the help of Saturn and get out of those addictions. So that is the expectation of Saturn. So you'll also work towards improving your personality in the sense the way you look, the outward personality as well as the inner personality. How extrovert you are, how you put yourself before the world, right? The soft skill sets which are needed, which can be communication, which can be networking, anything. So Saturn will actually make you do things which will improve your personality. Now Saturn is also looking back at the 12th house, so it will show you places where you are spending the most, and again the course correction is required. So you will have to understand and do the course correction. So if you were desiring to travel somewhere and it didn't happen, then during this period Saturn is actually going to help you to prepare yourself for travel or to travel. Now when it is looking at the 12th house retrograde, at times it might seem that you are very isolated, you are lonely, because that is the feeling which Saturn gives when it looks at the 12th house, right? So again, the intention of Saturn is that you take up some spiritual path, take up some spiritual path seriously, practice spirituality during this period, and then improve your personality and your outlook, so that you are prepared, you are well prepared to take up challenges which are coming your way. So reassessment of your finances is certainly on the cards, right? And you will also take up spirituality to get that peace and tranquility, and for this purpose you can also travel. It can be a pilgrimage, you can travel within your country or even overseas, and it can be a spiritual journey as well, or to rediscover yourself, right? So this is for Aquarius ascendant. Now for Pisces ascendant or Meena Lagna, Saturn is retrograde in your 12th house. It is the lord of your 11th house as well. Surely during this period you will feel lonely, right? You will feel like you are cut off from the society, you are cut off from your relatives, and it can be frustrating and it can give you a lot of pain. But again, Saturn is indicating that it is the time to take up spirituality, to know yourself, to reconnect yourself with that Almighty, with the Supreme, to reconnect yourself and to identify who you are, right? So do search for, do go on a spiritual search for a genuine spiritual path, a genuine spiritual teacher, spiritual master who can impart you the right knowledge with which you can understand your real self. You can embark on that spiritual path which will give you that fulfillment. So this is very important. Rejuvenate yourself, take the spiritual path, understand yourself, and then bounce back in your life, right? With that spiritual knowledge, bounce back. So it reminds me of the Bhagavad Gita. So when Bhagavad Gita in Mahabharata, when Arjuna was actually lost, so that is when Lord Krishna spoke Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna. So it was spiritual. It was a spiritual discussion. It was discussion about spirituality, to understand the self and everything, because even today millions of people, they read Bhagavad Gita to get that knowledge, and that is the knowledge Lord Krishna imparted to Arjuna on the battlefield, right? So the most unlikely place is battlefield, but that is where Krishna imparted the knowledge. Why? Because Arjuna could understand his self. He could understand what were his duties, and then bounce back, and that is what he did. So spiritual path is not to escape from this world. It is mainly to understand yourself, to become fearless, to get that courage to do the right thing, and then bounce back in the life. And that is what Saturn is expecting from you, right? So this is one aspect. Second, it looks at your 11th house, right, in this retrograde motion. So time to re-evaluate your network circle, because surely there are people who are actually trying to pull you down, who are actually doing a lot of harm. So Saturn wants you to introspect, do the course correction by eliminating those people, reconnect with people who mean good for you, who can help you to grow, who can provide you that support, who are worth it. So this exercise you have to do. 11th house is the house of your status in society, status in your organization, your monetary gains from your organization or business. So now you will revisit all those things. So you will do the course correction needed so that your status rises, which means you will go to the next level at your workplace, in your business. You will do that course correction, you will introspect, you will take the proper steps so that you can grow in your business or at your workplace, right? Now during this period, your focus will also be on increasing your finances, which again boils down to the same point, that you will be working in the direction of increasing your role, responsibility, your position, because unless you do that, your monetary position is not going to improve. So you are going to do that, right? So you will have to build a new network, eliminate people who are actually doing harm, add people who mean good for you, right? And then you can start off. So this is in store for Pisces ascendant, right? So guys, these were my thoughts on Saturn going retrograde. So if you like my video, you can subscribe to my channel. I'll be back with another interesting video. Thank you so much for watching.